Hey there, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Amy and TJ. TJ starting per usual. This conversation you all don't get to see. We should record the pre-conversation before we start, in which every time I say, hey, you want to start? And your reaction is?
Absolutely not.
And then I say?
Why do I have to do it?
And then you say?
You should know by now.
Yeah. That's,
do we have to keep doing this every time? Okay.
Every time. But welcome, everybody. Thank you all so much. And we should say thank you to a bunch of folks who we've, the last few weeks, even to a month, we've put together a few episodes that have really resonated with a lot of folks. And we appreciate a lot of your feedback, actually. I say feedback, but I guess it's nice to know that some of the things we talk about are resonating with people. And there's been some... I've been proud of some of the stuff we put out in the last few weeks and the people we've talked to and them helping them get their messages out. So thank you to the listeners out there who've been supporting us.
Yeah, it feels good to know that some of what we experience or what we're feeling is something that you all do too. It just makes it feel more communal, and that's what we're hoping for. And even some of the celebrities who we've had on, it feels so personal because I feel like our podcast turned into group therapy so often, but there are so many people. It doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or if you're, wherever you come from, whatever your walk in life is, we all experience the same things, basically. We all have the same reactions to things and we all have the same fears and the same hopes and dreams. So it's nice to feel it all come together and to know that some of these stories that we experience resonate.
And no matter who you are, where you are in your life, everybody can relate to something or has some memory. And if you're a parent or a parent of a young child, you're going through it, birthday parties, right? Do you have a memory of not your first birthday party, but what's the first memory you have of a birthday party in your life?
My own personal one?
Yeah.
Yes.
As a child?
Yes.
What age?
I was 6.
Wow. Okay.
I was 6. I was in first grade. And I still remember because it was a really big deal. My parents didn't have a lot, so it was a big deal for them. And I got the birthday party thrown at McDonald's. And they had a little caboose in the back of one of the McDonald's restaurants. And Ronald McDonald actually came.
Oh, my.
And I was
terrifying.
Yeah, now looking back, yes. Maybe that's where my fear of clowns started. I never even thought about that. But it was just so exciting. I can still remember the boy sitting next to me. His name was Brian Winnicky. Like, it's funny, like certain moments that are
that's cool.
Powerful, that meant so much to you. You can remember really significant, or actually seemingly insignificant details now that you get older. But I can still remember the boy sitting next to me. His name was Brian Winnicky.
Okay, I'm a little, at this point, too much of an adult to still be jealous of a 6-year-old named Brian. Right? I mean, it's a little much, ain't it? I should probably.
Funny. Oh my goodness!
I mean, he really stole your heart. You're 51.
I was excited.
And as a 6-year-old, you still are talking about. We're going to edit this out because wherever that guy is right now, he's sitting back. Yeah, she's still thinking about me.
Oh my goodness! No, but you know what I'm saying. You're cute.
Don't
You're
actually.
Cute. You do. No, but like you. I just remember it feeling very special, and it was a really big deal. And I hadn't had a birthday party before that, so it was a big deal. How about you?
I'm trying to. I don't remember the age. I can see the living room, the dining room, the kids that were gathered around, and I was opening presents. This was 5 or 6 probably, but I can remember opening presents, and then there was a present that my parents brought in. It was still wrapped, but I knew what it was. It was this G.I. Joe set. It had like 50 pieces in this thing. And I was opening somebody else's gift, but I saw them coming with that and I knew what it was. And I the hell with everything else. And it was really rude. And now that I think it was a really, but that is the first birthday party memory I have. Do you remember though, your kids though, their birthday parties? Do you have? Your kids are 17 and 20 now. 21. No, she's 21.
21 and about to turn 18 next week.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We got a birthday coming up next week.
Do you remember when they were 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the birthday parties?
So I remember, I think so many of us kind of take traditions from our own families. So I didn't throw my kids a traditional birthday party of any kind. except for like my parents, like the grandparents. That was it until they were in school.
Okay,
So
that makes
when
sense.
they got to kindergarten and first grade, I actually put a rule because I just didn't want things to get out of control. Here in Manhattan, there's big birthday parties. So I said they could have a party every other year, and I staggered it with the girls. So
Why?
because I just didn't want to go through, they could have like a small group of friends, but like a big birthday party. So the rule was in my kids' school, when they were in elementary school,
Wait a minute.
you couldn't just invite a few people. You had to invite the entire grade.
What?
That's a significant expense.
Oh my-
Yes.
why
And we have
would you do
small
that?
New York City apartments, so typically it has to be, at some other place. And then they charge exorbitant amounts of
Babe.
money for all of these kids. So just honestly, from a
30?
financial standpoint,
Wait, why?
I made them choose every other year. They could have like one or two friends have a sleepover. That was fine.
Hey, why would you take on the whole like 30 kids?
Yes.
in
And the first time I did it, I thought, there's no way all the kids are going
gonna
to say
show up.
yes.
Of course
Guess
they are.
what? It was
Everybody.
at Build-A-Bear, and all the kids showed up.
Well,
and
it's Build-A-Bear. Of course they're going to show up.
yeah, I made that mistake once.
Okay.
I didn't make it again.
So wait, so who got a fifth birthday party? Annalise or Ava? You said they
Well,
had to stagger.
It worked out. They're almost 4 years apart, so 3.5 years apart. So I don't know how I did it, but whenever they got into kindergarten, that's when it started.
How about this? Did you ever have to throw two birthday parties in the same year because Ava wanted one and Annalise, or the years were staggered?
I don't remember that because Ava is in December and Annalise is in May. So I can't please. I wish I could remember that, but I cannot tell you honestly. But I did make them go every other year.
Didn't you love that stuff? Don't you miss throwing birthday parties?
I do not.
Why not, baby?
It's a lot of work.
What do you mean it's a lot of work? Hey, show up. Let's have some fun and celebrate my child. And that's the end of it. What's the big deal?
I think every parent knows it is a lot of work. And sometimes it's not just a lot of work to throw one. It's a lot of work to attend one because often you go with your kids and then there's a time commitment with other parents and it is work.
Now, are you one that does every kid that's invited gets a party favor or like a gift bag or something?
That was yes, because it
What's
felt
called?
a goodie bag.
Yeah.
Yes, because I was told by my children that they all would come back with one. So then it became this thing where you felt you had to then give a goodie bag for everybody. Yes, it's a tremendous amount of work. Did you do any of these things?
Well, yes, but with Sabine, it was very specific in that you can invite this many people.
Oh,
like,
wow.
I wanted to see her list. I'm like, you don't even like that girl. Take her off, please. So it was, all of her parties were very much, it wasn't an open and up to, no.
There wasn't a rule that you had to invite the entire class?
No.
Oh,
God.
yeah, it was at my kid's school.
There was a rule that you cannot invite the entire class.
I mean, that would have been my personal family rule,
No.
but it was superseded by the school's rule.
Okay, but a part of the issue in birthday parties is that it's expensive. You got cake.
Yes.
You got to provide food. Now, here in New York, I'm not sure around the rest of the country, but here it's a big thing. Like the adults, the parents expect to be fed and they expect alcohol.
Yes.
A lot of times.
There's an open bar almost at every birthday party.
So you got that. And then these goodie bags we're talking about end up being incredibly expensive if you have to do 10, 15, 20, certainly. But even if you do 5 to 10, here in New York, you buy the bag, you buy a card, you got this little widget, you got this bag of candy, you have to do a Roblox gift card, you got to do and next thing you know, it is incredibly expensive. So the idea of a $5 birthday party for your child sounds great, but it also is something I only learned about 30 minutes ago.
Same. I actually learned about it 30 minutes before you this morning.
Andy, Emma, you'll know what a $5 birthday party is. All right, our producers are sitting here shaking their heads. Please, Robes, explain.
Well, I just want to start by saying, God, I wish that was around when my kids were younger. But I think we saw the trend maybe first around 2019 when we looked it up. We just did a bunch of really quick recent research. But that's the first time we saw someone suggest this. But because of all of the things we just mentioned, I don't know who started the trend, but they just said, hey, instead of going through this arduous task of going and finding a birthday present, you don't even really know what the kid wants. They may already have one, and you got to get the gift card and the receipt, the whole thing, and spending usually $30, sometimes upwards of $50 per child. Yeah. And that really adds up. So they came up with the idea, don't bring a card, don't bring a gift, just bring $5. Wow, that would have made my life so much easier, not just for my kids attending a party, but when I threw a party, you now have to deal with 30 gifts of things your kids don't actually need and may not have even wanted in the first place.
So it sounds like a brilliant idea.
Brilliant.
So why then one mother who expressed that she was having essentially a Fiverr birthday party got incredible online hate, incredible social media hate. I guess you could say this post she made went viral, but the idea that she was saying is that instead of bringing a gift, hey, we got a little backyard renovation, bring us $5. And for whatever reason that set, I shouldn't say whatever reason. But some people thought that was tacky, it was rude, it was lazy, it was unnecessary, and it's not what should be done. And this mother is named Rachel Gibbs, and she lives down in Houston. And you know what? She stood by what she said and why, and justified and explained why she wanted to do it. But still, I don't know, even after hearing some of the explanation, that a lot of people gave her a break about it.
That's right. Well, you know what? And I think it'd be the perfect time to bring in Rachel right now because she is joining us from Houston. Rachel, welcome to the podcast.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
All right. So tell us what kind of feedback, if we can call it that, you've been getting after your Fiverr announcement.
Yeah, the birthday party heard around the world, right? No, I think, that feedback was something. I know what it came from. It's because when I put in the video, I said, we have some work to do. Like, we need to resod and do all this stuff. On the invitation, I put, like, make it a kid's paradise or what, like, help us make our backyard our kid's paradise or something. We're getting a swing set. Mm-hmm. Should have clarified that. But I don't know really why people are so upset. It's like, you don't get invited to birthday parties for people you don't know. So like, if somebody that you know invites you to a party and puts a simple request, it's like a wedding registry. Or people send Amazon links to their kids' wish lists all the time. I don't see how it's any different.
Okay, but why do you think it would have made a difference if you would have been more specific and said it's for a swing set versus just a backyard renovation? Why do you think that would have made a difference?
I don't know. I think maybe because people see that as something that like my husband and I would benefit from, even though like my kids spend hours in our backyard every single day. Like both of our children are on the grass. Well, it's not even grass. It's just dirt. We need to resod, but they spend so much time in the backyard.
And Rachel, the negative feedback that you got from a lot of people, did that come from people who didn't know you? How did the actual party guests respond to your request?
Oh, everyone who was invited either just showed up and didn't bring $5. I think we had 4 or 5 people bring cash.
You know what? Who did you discuss this idea with ahead of time, and what was the reaction from like your husband, your family, your friends about it?
Yeah. So as far as family goes, it was just my mom comes. But I mean, my in-laws loved the idea. I took the idea actually from another friend of mine who had done this before, but she's up in Canada, so I guess that maybe is something they do up there. I don't know. I had never heard of it before, but we had a great time. Seriously. I can't even like come up with words just because it was such a 90s vibe party. Like literally everybody just hanging out in the backyard, babies in like the little tight swings go. Like it was like the cozy coops, the old school stuff. Like it was such a good time.
You didn't have entertainers and you didn't have fireworks and you didn't have snow cone machines and all the things that we see people do. But when did you first start seeing the negative reaction, and what were some of the worst things that folks wrote to you?
So the worst thing is, I don't know if y'all have heard of the like boy mom versus girl mom culture. Like they have this toxic idea about boy mom culture versus girl mom culture. Boy mom culture being like the moms have that like weird attachment to their sons, right? And like prioritize their sons over their daughters or almost romanticize that relationship. And when I put in the video, like, these are things I did for my son's party or that for my daughter's party that I didn't do for my son's or whatever, when I made that comparison, people took it as, oh, you prioritize the son, but not the daughter. And I'm like, no, he was a guinea pig. Like this, I didn't know what I was doing. Why did I spend like $250 on customized cookies for a 1-year-old's birthday party? That was so dumb. Like it was dumb. I'm not doing that. No, I went to Kroger, got a Betty Crocker cake mix, and made some cupcakes the second time, and it cost $4.
Okay, well, can we compare what you spent on your son's versus your daughter's birthday party?
For my son's party, I probably spent around $1,000. It was
Okay.
still at our house, so we still didn't like go to a venue or anything. But I had it catered, and I did the cake, and I did the cookies, and I did the party favors for everyone, and I did the custom download from Etsy where I had everything printed out and all the balloon walls and this, that, and the third, and all this. It was just a bunch of just crap that I ended up just throwing away. Love. This time we had a big ball pit blow up thing that two of my friends, their daughter is the same age as our son. And they bought like a blow up ball pit thing because they're like, we use it all the time. We blow it up for our daughter in our backyard all the time. So they're like, do you want us to bring it? I was like, heck yeah, come on. So they brought that. So all the toddlers were loving that. And then another one of my friends owns a balloon company, and she did the balloon arch thing. So that was really pretty. I didn't have to buy them on Amazon or anything. And
But that ended up costing
yeah,
you what? This birthday party, the 1-year-old, this last birthday party cost you what?
less than $400.
So, I mean, as a mom who has been there, done that, as TJ said, mine are 21 and almost 18. I applaud that. You do make mistakes the first time because you kind of go all out, and then you realize, wait, this birthday party isn't for my child, it's for me, and everyone is one-upping each other on whatever it is, Pinterest or Instagram or whatever, and then you start to realize, wait a minute, I'm going to do something that makes sense for my family. So, were you surprised at some of the hate?
Yeah, I was. Like I said, it wasn't one of those videos that was like trying to get a reaction out of people. Some of my content is very curated, and some of it is pretty off the riff. I'm a pretty low effort content creator. That's what I like to say. I'm not going to sit here and edit all this stuff. I don't have time for that. I have 2 small children. I quite literally do not have the time for it. But when the comments started coming in and the hate started coming in, it was, the like, oh, you did this for your son. Like, imagine your daughter logging on in 15 years and seeing how much you don't love her. And it was in that moment that I was like, like the parent in you was just like, it was like I saw red. Just started like rage responding, not really rage responding, but just like trying to defend myself and really like be like, no, like choosing to misunderstand this and then coming at me. I'm of course trying to like use logic with people, and it's just trolls on the internet, and then I get myself all in a tizzy. And
So are you cool or comfortable with that now? Do you actually think there is a good portion of the population that takes issue with what you're doing, or do you really just think you were trolled a bit and then you reacted to it, and maybe you've come down and calmed down a bit from the red rage you said you had?
For sure. Yeah, I think it's a combo, right? Like I think of course there's the trolls that are going to intentionally misunderstand and just comment this stuff just to get other people in the comments riled up, just to get that whole situation going. And then there's people who are just like stupid, and just like don't listen well, or there's just that percentage of the population.
Rachel, has it turned you off at all from documenting your life as a mom of 2 on social media? And is this something you're earning money from? Talk a little bit about why you go on social media and share your life and open yourself up to potential criticism.
For sure. Yeah. This definitely has not stopped me from sharing at all. I am a full-time content creator. It is my job. I pay my bills. From posting on social media and working with brands. I am, fortunate enough to have posted a brand deal this morning with a really cool company, and sharing. I know when I share, I am opening myself up to criticism. And I typically have pretty thick skin, right? Like most of the times I'm just going to give you a witty comeback or respond like, I get it. You know, sarcasm is hard sometimes. Like I just kind of whatever, let it roll off my back. But when people attack my husband and my children, that's when I like go feral. It's them, because they aren't posting. It's me posting. You can say what you want about me, but don't say what you want about my children and my husband.
You said you had thick skin, but is there some part of this that you went from being, like you might be angered by some of the things some people say, but were you ever actually hurt by it? Were your feelings hurt to where you had some quiet moments to yourself that involved reflection and tears and doubt about the party itself and the post itself?
100%. There have been 2 posts ever that I have turned comments off on. The first one was the first video I had go viral a couple years ago. And the second one was this one. And it was because I was so hurt by the hateful words that thousands of people were saying, like, and it was reiterating the same points over and over again that, like, truthfully, I know in my heart aren't true. I know I know we had a wonderful time. I know I didn't provide a meal, but I had snacks, which was plenty of, like, we had some leftover. I know those things, right? But it's the fact that those things are now on the internet, and like the internet's forever, and those things are out there about me. And I filter my own comments, because if I don't filter those comments, more comments like that will come in. So you have to read through them. And it does get at you sometimes.
It got at you, and we know what that feels like to read hurtful comments, and to try to thicken your skin up more, so to speak.
Know what that's like.
Yeah, we do. We have a little, we know a little bit about that. But I'm curious, did that latest post that garnered all that reaction, some of it, and maybe even a lot of it negative, did it help you financially? Did it boost your profile? You profited off of it?
Like, absolutely. I am very open and honest about the fact that I'm a content creator. Like, that's how I pay my bills. I let people know it. Like, yes, it paid for the party and then some. That one video did. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.
Okay, see, this is where, Rachel, people will step back. And I have been fooled recently by another guest we had on the podcast who posted something on, it was TikTok.
Yeah.
And I fell for it. And she was making fun of me. Like, yeah, I got to stir things up. I got to get people to listen. I got to get people to chime in. Now, going back and listening to your TikTok video, come on, Rachel, you went a little hard. You didn't just say, I'm having a party, you're like, no, get out of my house at 11:30.
I am that person that hangs up the sign, please leave by 9. I am that person.
But I'm saying that comes across to people that don't know you as, oh, she's being rude or she's being this. Didn't you know, Rachel, a little bit that you were what you were doing and messing with us and setting some of us off?
Of course, that's my job, right? Like, of course, I know that kind of thing's going to happen. I was not expecting NBC and iHeartRadio and People Magazine to be calling me.
But you don't mind that we did.
Birthday party in my backyard. Let's simmer down.
Right. I mean, your delivery, and you say that's exactly who you are. You were like, this is the way it's going to be. I'm not making a cake.
I ain't feeding you fools.
There's
ain't no liquor
alcohol
here. Eat before you come.
No liquor.
It's at 9 a.m. out of my house by 11:30.
And let me tell you what, I had people show up and ask for mimosas. I was like, no.
That would have been me, Rachel.
You sure you don't have any Prosecco?
Like nothing?
I just need
no
a
Lamarca here.
Vodka, tomato juice, nothing. I can work with it.
Did you get, though, some support for the no gift part of your birthday party? Because that really resonated with me. It is out of control, I think. And, this has been a decade for me since I had to go through this, but even then it was out of control. And I think it's gotten even worse with social media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think especially in the position that I'm in, like being an influencer content creator, like I have, 200,000 plus people watching what I do. Like it's not responsible of me to put on this big thing when that's not me. Like it's beyond my means. Like it's just not something that we can afford, throwing these $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 birthday parties, because that's how much these parties cost. It's insanity. And like, it's just not a responsible way for me to spend my money. So, I want to be authentic, be myself with that.
Would you say looking back on it now, is there a mistake you made in how you threw the party? Was there a mistake you made in how you made that TikTok post and talking about the party?
Honestly, no. I'm very like, I feel like you have to be proud of what you say when you post stuff online for everybody to hear it. Like, you put it on the internet, it's there forever. That has been like drilled as a millennial. That was drilled into my head. Like, I was there at like the birth of social media and all of that. It is on the internet forever. So what you post, you have to be proud of. So there's nothing I would have done differently for the party. There's, maybe not respond to so many of the negative comments. Maybe that would be the thing. So it would get pushed to like more positive people's algorithm.
And when you responded, I didn't go through all of that, but I mean, I haven't met you before, only here. It seems like you might fire back at somebody pretty harshly that was criticized. So were you going tit for tat with folks?
A lot of times, yeah, for sure. I'll match your energy.
So give us an example of something, a comment that someone wrote and your response.
Oh gosh. Okay, let me go look.
Please, by all means, take your time.
We can't wait.
I can try.
And pull out one that you're not especially proud of.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, so someone comments, hard pass, no presents, no cake, no food, ... Why bother? I'm all for the early time and minimize money spent. But with her attitude, it sounds like she doesn't even want a party. So why?
And you
my response.
Oh, brace yourselves. Oh, wait for it.
I said, you weren't invited.
Oh, you know what? I appreciate that one.
The simplicity was perfect. On point, Rachel.
That's funny.
Someone else commented, aren't you delightful? I was upset when I commented this. Ooh. I said, when I don't have to deal with comments from crotchety, mean old ladies like you,
Oh, come on, Rachel. That's not going to get you any goodwill.
I know. 31 people liked it.
That's so funny. I mean, do you usually fire back and respond? And how do you feel that's received? I mean, you said 31 people liked it. So do you feel better responding?
I mean, I think it's kind of like that, like, do you feel better for being rude? It's like, you kind of get that little bit of a dopamine hit, like, to be honest, but like, no, it doesn't solve anything. All it does is push it to the wrong people's algorithm. Like,
you've spoken about what you think about and what's appropriate for your family and a birthday party for your kids. But what do you generally think about? I'm sure you've been to plenty and seen plenty and invited to plenty. But what do you think about where we are generally there in Houston, in Texas, in the country, when it comes to how we all view birthday parties, either as an invitee or the person throwing it?
I mean, so I could go into like a whole thing about this, about like why I think that we make every single occasion in our lives this like whole big thing, but I don't need to get all into that. But no, I think we have an incredible amount of pressure on us, mostly from social media, just because we feel like we need to, share. And then we have this like, okay, well, what happens in 15 years when my kids look back and they don't have the birthday party that so-and-so had, and so-and-so doesn't have this when so-and-so had that, right? It's the whole, like, my first car was a 1988 BMW that the rag top leaked. And then I have, a friend pulling up next to me in her brand new Saab convertible that didn't leak, right? So it was kind of that sort of thing, but for our kids now. And then we have social media on top of it and.
just reminded me. So my daughter, as I mentioned, is turning 18 next week, but she just got, and they're all of her friends, she's a senior in high school, are all now getting their college acceptance letters, right? So she told me, and she was showing me on Instagram, all of these moms who then, when they find out where their daughter or their son is going to college, I forgot the name of the party. Is it called like a pop party? What? You come home and the parent surprises the kid with all this, it's a merch party with all the merchandise from the college that they got accepted to. And it's all laid out in a beautiful display with balloons and streamers and sweatshirts and sweatpants and socks and hats. And she was like, Mom, look at all these. And I just said, sorry, that's just not who I am. I'm paying for college. You're welcome. But it's funny because then, your kid feels less than, like, their parents went all out. And I said, that is just for a photo, for an Instagram photo. She's like, no, I totally get it. That's absolutely what it is. But it's getting out of control from birthday parties to whatever life event it may be. It does feel like everyone's trying to present this perfection or this look what I did for my child.
And it's
cool.
Tough. That sounds cool. What's that party called?
I know, a merch party. I forgot what she said it was called, but apparently it's a thing, and I don't even know the name of it.
That's kind of cool. But to each his or her own.
Of course.
But it's just, you can't keep up with the Joneses. You can't finance. Everybody's not able to do that. If you are, that's cool. But we talked, Rachel, before we came in today to talk to you. Robe said something. We were just discussing you, and I even had another podcast idea. I'll tell you. She said, we were talking about you. She said, I'm not going to judge her for it. And that's where I think the issue is, and some of the comments and whatnot that's going on. That is what you did. I applaud it. I would have loved to have been the parent who was throwing it. I would have loved to have been the parent attending it. But we get into this thing to where we're judging somebody else for it. What you did is what you did. Knock yourself out. Cool. And I love it. But even if I didn't, I can't judge you for it. And that is where this all comes down. It's different for everybody. It's called what'd you say, a bed party? Okay. And our producer just told us the thing we were talking about, the college thing, is called a
bed party.
Bed party? Why a bed party?
Because they lay it all out on the bed and they surprise the child. No one told me about a bed party, so now I felt like a bad mom because I didn't even know what this was. What do you mean a bed party?
So, Rachel, when your kids get into college...
right? I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what am I gonna... I mean, I thought it was elaborate when I pledged my sorority, and my mom had been in the same sorority. She came to our campus and decorated my dorm room and stuff.
So your kids... probably not going to get a bed party. They didn't even get a cake on the first birthday, Rachel. Why not a cake, though?
We had donuts and we had cupcakes.
Okay.
I hear. And to play off of what TJ said, I do think that is the important part of all of this. And we have to all be more mindful of this when it comes to social media and comparisons. It is this judgment-free zone. You get to do what you think is best for your family, and you can share what you think is best for your family. And it might make people it might spark an idea for someone. It might make someone feel more comfortable in the fact that they can't afford to throw these elaborate parties. So you are, just by sharing your choices, you are not just angering some people, but I think you're probably validating some people or making people feel less guilty about not being able to throw these elaborate parties. So what you're doing actually is great. I think that is the beautiful part of social media, if people can view it that way, where you can feel like you're not alone or that someone else is doing it differently, and that's okay. And that's what we're hoping, even anyone listening to this podcast, that hopefully is the takeaway. Everyone's got different ways of doing things. I thought it was a great idea as well. So, but I just think that there's good that can come out of it. It's how we view it and not being adversarial with people because they do things differently.
For sure. I literally went to a birthday party on Monday of this week for a 3-year-old at 10 a.m. They had a mom for us.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's
right.
Great.
But it's other people can't go. But I'm sure if that mom would have posted, it would have been a whole thing.
What about the positive comments? I mean, we focused on some of the negative stuff, but I assume you've gotten a lot of positive feedback.
Yeah, people love the thank you for the asking us to not bring anything, very intentionally, because that was my thing. My children truthfully need nothing. Nothing. Because I'm a content creator, we have stuff show up on our porch all the time. Brands send us stuff, clothes, toys, cleaning stuff, you name it, we get it. So I'm constantly donating stuff. Both my children are only grandchildren on both sides. Like they have they have their cousins.
Spoiled.
Like very much so.
Everything,
They're
yeah.
very spoiled. And my husband and I are very much like our children, like the way that they express their love at this age is different than it will be later on. So we show them the way that they know that they're loved by giving them things, right? My 2-year-old loses his mind when I get him one of those stupid little juices with the character on top. Oh my God, he loses it. It's cheaper than me going to Starbucks and getting a coffee. Why would I not get it for him? It's made his entire day. You know, that's the kind of spending that I want to be intentional about. But I don't want you to bring a pack of Mega Blocks to my house. I have so many, I don't need any more. It then creates a task for me to do something, or it has to be re-gifted or. So that was really the big yes, was the don't bring stuff. And then the 9 a.m., the 11:30, like being able to do things and like kids being able to nap. That was huge.
I love it. And, you know, to that point, I love the no gift idea, but I also, someone did this for me, and I really appreciated this, and I've paid it forward too. Anytime I give a gift to someone, I say, and don't you dare write me a thank you note. We're good.
I always do that.
We're
I don't want it. Don't want it. Because in the South, people still expect it. Like, let me open up my drawer right here and get out my thank you cards. Like, I literally have thank you cards like in my drawer right here, ready to go at my desk because I write them so often.
Exactly. And so when someone gives you permission to say, I know you, I know you're grateful, you don't have to write a card, get the postage stamp and send it in the mail. And that was such a freeing thing. I just said, that's actually the best gift anyone's given me. I don't have to write a thank you card. Thank you.
Wow.
TJ's perplexed right now.
I forgot. I didn't know about the thank you card thing. I have... no wonder a lot of these parents don't like me.
You haven't been thanking them for all the gifts they've given Sabine over the years at birthday.
I haven't sent a thank you card.
Oh my God.
What did the $5 though? I mean, how big of a dent can you make in your renovation or the swing set for $5? I mean, did it really help that much?
No, we got $50 and 5 of it on this cute little thing that's going in a shadow box. Okay. No, that was the point though. Like, we really didn't want people to bring something. We just wanted our friends and family to come and show up and spend time with us. Like, that was the thing. Like, if you have $5 in your pocket, sure, but like otherwise, please just come. That's kind of the concept.
And my only other thing I want to ask is, what is the next birthday party going to look like?
Oh gosh, for Hazel Page or for Sam, because his birthday's in June.
Well, I mean, since we all know you like the son better than the
you
daughter.
favor the
That's
son.
right. Yeah,
Apparently,
that's right.
I like Sam better.
You've got that weird relationship, mom, son. Yeah, we get it.
I should probably start giving that some thought, considering it is next month.
Oh my goodness!
But really, what is the birthday party? What are you going to do? Birthday party. What's it going to look like? What have you learned from this that you will take into the next birthday party experience?
Oh, the time was perfect for this age group.
Wow.
Like, everyone with little kids, like, they're up that early. And like, I have a cousin who has a daughter and they live 45 minutes away. I didn't expect them to come because that's a long way for them to come at 9:30 in the morning. So when she was like, hey, that's a long, I'm like, girl, I wasn't expecting you to come. Like, it's fine. I invite the, few friends that we have in town who have kids to come over. So that's definitely what we're going to be doing. Maybe do 10 o'clock as they get a little bit older, but just when they're out of diapers, But the early time was awesome. The short time period was also awesome. Like that hour and a half, it doesn't feel like you're just kind of sitting around waiting for things to go.
But folks left. They left when they were supposed to leave.
Yeah, people. I mean, because kids get grumpy around that time.
What day of the week was it?
It was a Saturday.
Saturday, okay.
Saturday, but like, it was nap time. The little ones were like getting a little bit fussy. Get in the car, go home, nap, go on to the rest of your day.
Are you going to continue the Fiverr theme?
Possibly. I don't know. I think it was just for this one, probably for the next few, I will, until they can specifically ask for things, you know? But my kids they don't need anything right now. So, you know, I would say contribute to their 529s, but they get contributed to frequently. They've had them since the week both of them were born. So they both have savings accounts. And
I mean, I'll help you with the swing set.
Children's Museum membership, Science Museum membership, the aquarium membership. Like we have all of the things.
Too much.
They need
529, 529. I mean, the swing set is one thing, but now you want me to contribute. It's more of a long term.
The amount of people that told me to have people contribute to their college funds or to donate to charity. I'm like, okay, I don't care. You aren't invited.
Well, we look forward to your next post, Rachel, and congratulations on getting that post boosted and paying for the party and then some. That's smart parenting, in my opinion. So, and thank you for coming on the podcast. We appreciate it.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
All right, Rose, what do we do now? Sabine's 12th is coming up. No, I mean, at what point do you stop doing kids like kitty birthday? Kitty, what's the right word?
Yeah,
Kitty
I think once you get out of elementary school, I think middle school. I think you can have sleepovers, and that's where I graduated to that really quickly, and it was nice and easy, and I was happy to have those elementary school years done with.
Okay, that's where we're going now because it has Sabine's last couple have been wildly expensive.
Yeah,
that's wildly. I
New
shouldn't say
York
it like
City,
that.
though. I mean,
shouldn't
it's
say it
tough.
like that, but it has.
We don't have backyards.
You don't have. Yes, you can't just come over and collect. You have to rent out a space. You have to do something. I did a hotel suite in Times Square, which they loved.
I'm sure they did.
Did that one year where they could look out over Times Square and just be up all night, and the other one was renting out the movie theater, which was a great plan. You got them all in the confined space, but it's New York.
Yeah, it's expensive. I know. I did the bowling alley party. That was not cheap.
How many kids?
That was still all the kids.
Did you do the goodie bags?
Yes,
yeah, those
the
things
whole
are
thing.
a mess,
It's exhausting. So anyway, I applaud Rachel and thank you all for listening.
And we love our kids.
And we do love our kids a lot. And yeah, I'm paying for college right now, so save your money now while you can. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. You can check us out on Instagram, Amy and TJ Podcast. We have our individual accounts as well. And thank you all for listening.